America! How is everybody today? Hey, it's a glorious day here in Ohio. I don't know, I think winters went to sleep for a while, at least for a while. Hey guys, today we're going to have a little bit of fun. Got a cool subject, as you see. And what I want to talk about today is basically how the people we hang with are going to determine basically what we turn out to be. Now, one of the things I was talking about with one of my buddies the other day was how our children basically turn out after us. They are a byproduct of ourselves. And what I mean by that is, let's say, a child is reared up in a Christian home per se. Chances are they're going to, go and become a Christian and follow in a Christian home. You were growing up in a Jewish home, you're going to be following the Jewish path, So a lot of the things that we hang with every day are going to really determine a lot about our lives. So it's very important that you understand, I understand, everybody understands that who we're actually hanging around with is making a very large impression on our lives, especially when we're very small children. It's even more, guys. If you're hanging out with the wrong crowd all the time, chances are you're going to be in some trouble. I know I hung out with a pretty crazy crowd when I was growing up, and we reaped some of those consequences. I can remember, asking what my alias was when a police officer arrested me for me and my buddy for throwing watermelons at mailboxes. Yes, I know that's crazy, but so you're really a sum of who you hang with. Now, I want to talk to you about some very influential people in my life that have made a huge difference. And what's really good for you to do is kind of go back into your lives and think of maybe the 5 most influential people in your lives and see that they did make an impact in your life, what you've become today. The first person I want to talk to that's been a huge, totally huge inspiration to me is Jesus Christ. Yes, don't worry, I'm not going to get all religious on all of you right now, but what I want you to understand is that I, at one time, was an atheist. I didn't believe in anything. I didn't believe in a higher power. I didn't believe in the man upstairs. I didn't believe in any of those things. As a matter of fact, I was all about me, and I was going about life living that way and had no concept of God or anything like that. And it was basically a life-changing situation that happened to me that caused me to think differently. I was very sick, and to make a long story here short, I went to one of my buddies talked me into going to a TV minister while he was doing his service, and I actually went to the service, and the man laid hands on me, and bam, I was healed and had a documented healing, and now my thoughts are totally different. So Jesus Christ has been a huge inspiration in my life. One of the main things that I've learned as being a Christian is Jesus said something one time when he was talking to somebody, and he said, I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. And see, I think when I first became a Christian, I was out to judge the world and worry about the saving later, probably like many of you. But what I learned quickly was that, we all have our roads, we all have our trials, we all have our tribulations, and you know what? You just never know what someone's going through. So to go out and judge them is totally uncool. You just don't know what somebody's going through. So I am very thankful that Jesus knows exactly what's going on inside of me. He deals with me on an individual basis, and I'm very happy to have him in my life. And he's taught me not to be such a critical, judgmental person. I've gotten better and better every year, and the love is showing through. The fruits hopefully are coming through. Do I have problems in my life? Absolutely. But you know what? At least I'm going in the right direction, little by little by little. So Jesus has taught me a lot. That influence in my life has totally transformed my life. So that person has been very influential in my life. He has been the most influential in my life. I can honestly tell you that. Number 2, I want to mention my parents. My parents, I guess my childhood maybe wasn't exactly perfect, probably like many of yours, because maybe there is no perfect childhood. But I had a mom and dad that worked very hard. My dad worked several jobs in order for our family to make it. And one thing they taught me that has stayed with me today is you gotta work hard. You gotta give it your all. No matter what you're doing in life, you have to give it your all. and just work hard and give people fair scales and just do everything above board. And I can remember sitting around when I was a kid, and it would be a Sunday, and it would be sunny outside, and my dad would come into the room. He goes, "What you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just sitting here." He goes, "Well, you know what? It's not raining. It's still time to go out there and make some money." My dad wasn't all about money, but he just wanted to keep me busy. I think he knew, based on his childhood, that if I had idle hands, like they say, idle hands is the devil's workshop, it truly is. And my dad knew if I had a lot of idle time, chances are I'd be in that workshop quite a bit. So my dad made sure that he kept me busy, and he started me in my actual career that I did for 25 years as a landscape company owner. And I used to cut grass with my dad on weekends to make some extra money. My dad was out of work for a while, so he went and cut grass. And it kind of stayed with me, started my own company, and did that actually for 25 years. So my parents definitely taught me to work very hard. That's very important. Another person that was very influential in my life is Pastor Ken Brooks of Waikoloa Baptist Church out in Hawaii. And guys, it was really weird because one day I was walking around in Waikoloa just getting some exercise, and I saw this little Baptist church. And I thought, that's pretty cool. Let me just go in and check it out. So I walked in, and I happened to wander right into the pastor's office, and Ken Brooks was sitting at his desk, and he had a whole library of books. And at the time, I was going through some rough waters. So I sat down and spoke with the pastor, and he and I had one of the most incredible times I think I've ever had in my life. It was beneficial to actually both of us. And we have remained lifelong friends now. And he is a great man. He has a lovely wife, Shirley. Unbelievable people. But he started something called the 7 Steps. And it's basically talking about a mind gate. Garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. And I never really visualized that till that point in my life, that whatever I'm allowing into my life, whether it's media, movies, music, whatever it may be that I'm allowing in my life, I have the number one choice if I want to either allow it or cast it out. Many of us get into trouble because we allow too much garbage into our mind gate. So that was a time, a very pivotal time in my life, that I said, no, I am going to start filtering what comes into my mind gate. I'm going to make sure that I'm not falling to all this media hype. I'm not falling to all the craziness in the world out there. Everything that's bombarding me, I'm not falling into it. And I started to use that mind gate, and his 7 steps, you could look it up on the internet by Pastor Ken Brooks, is very, very important, and it's very pivotal in my life, that it's really helped me tremendously. Another person, believe it or not, I've talked about him before. Number 4 is actually John Paul DeJoria. I actually met him in Hawaii, and he is truly an inspiration, because this man was living in a 1971 Cadillac, and he had nothing to his name. Him and his kid were living in there. He was totally broke, and this man beat all the odds and became a billionaire 3 times over. The man owns, Paul Mitchell Systems. I'm sure any of you with hair couldn't appreciate that. Probably the top hair product in the world. And he also owns Patron Tequila, which is the number 1 tequila in all the world. So he basically taught me that you can't be a quitter. You can't give up. No matter how old you are in life, you may be 60, 70, 80 years old today. Don't give up on anything, guys. There is still room for you in this life. And our Creator makes it all possible. At least that's what I believe. I never push my faith on anybody, but I do know it's a big part of my life. And I believe that once you understand a lot of biblical principles, you will see them transform your life. Even if you didn't believe in a God and look at the principles in the Bible, it can only help you, and it can only lead you on a road to success, because they're things that make total sense. That, if you treat people right, guess what? It's going to come back to you. How you treat somebody is going to come back to you. So there's a lot of good things to learn in there in life. Number 5, the last thing that I wanted to talk about was my Aunt Irma. Believe it or not, was very instrumental in my life. Wonderful lady. I can honestly tell you, this lady just passed away a short time ago, almost made it to 100 years old, and the most beautiful woman I can ever tell you about. She never said an ill word about anybody, and I never heard that woman complain. Even later in life, when she was having a lot of aches and pains and stuff, I never heard this woman complain. And she taught me some very valuable things in life to, basically see the good in everybody and not just see the bad. And, not to be a complainer in life. I mean, who wants to be a complainer anyhow? I truly believed that woman, my Aunt Irma, lived to a great ripe age, way beyond what the Bible even promises of 70 years. She lived all those bonus years because she lived a very good life as a Christian woman. And great lady. What I'm trying to instill in you guys is everybody that's around us really does make you who you are. Our children are a byproduct of us. So, you got to wonder when you see all these shootings and everything going on, it's not really a kid problem. In my opinion, it's a parent problem. Parents haven't done their job and inspiring their kids and raising them up and disciplining them, the way we're supposed to. And it's all about being a friend with your child and all these kind of things today. Hey, don't hit your kid, that's child abuse. All these kind of things. And now we're seeing we're reaping what we sowed, guys. We are reaping what we've sowed now because we have not done what the good book said to do in raising up our kids. And we are responsible for the younger generation. I hate to say it, but it's true. So guys, when you go out and about now, I just want you to understand who you're hanging with really is going to make a difference in your life. If you're hanging with a bunch of losers, if you're hanging with a bunch of people that are doing a lot of crazy stuff, guess where you're going to end up, guys? It just is, it's like a fact in the universe that it really does come to play here, that who you hang with is who you're going to become. Now, one thing I want to read to you really quick here. It's a scripture verse that has been very pivotal. Why can't I get that word straight? But it's been very instrumental in my life. How does that sound? That sounds way better. Okay, guys, here it is. Proverbs chapter 13, verses 20 through 25. And it reads like this. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the village of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Okay? The righteous eateth to the satisfying of the soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. Guys, basically what that's all saying, first of all, if that sinner word is kind of big for you, you can't kind of figure that out. It basically means that you just missed the target. You were shooting for a bullseye and you missed. We're all sinners. You know what I'm saying? We missed the bullseye. God understands that. Who is the righteous? The righteous are simply people that have been accepted by God because they've asked for forgiveness in their lives and they've asked to come to the realization that Christ is their Lord. So the Bible said this over 2,000 years ago, man. It said that you hang with losers, guys, guess what? You're going to be destroyed. You're going to be hanging with losers. All this truth has been around for a long time, but a lot of times we refuse to accept it. But it's right here, guys. It's a blueprint for success. And, we're always talking about success stories here. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Guys, go out and enjoy this beautiful day in Ohio. I mean, I think the weather's supposed to turn in a few days. I saw it's going to go back in the 30s. But you know what? Just go out and enjoy life. Go out there and be blessed, okay? As we say in the islands, a hui-ho till we meet again. God bless this wonderful country. Dave Fritz signing out.